Alrighty, let's get into boxing the Asus Zephyrus M16 gaming laptop. I am so excited. So this model I have here isn't the top model, it's actually the base model. It costs about $1,400 and it comes with the Intel Core i7 RTX 3050, 16 gigs of RAM, and 512 gigs of storage. Oh my god, so you see that? You open it up and look. Comes right out. That is a thing of beauty. Oh my goodness. Look. That's so cool. So there's the device itself. It's a hefty boy. It's pretty small though. I mean, like, it's pretty heavy, I would say. Like, not overly so, but it's pretty small as far as footprint goes. And there it is. Ooh, it feels pretty solid. It's got this nice sheen to it. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. Wow, that feels actually really solid as far as build quality goes. The top is aluminum. The bottom is plastic. But it feels pretty solid. Okay. Alrighty, so here's the ROG Zephyrus M16, and all unboxed. And I'll have to admit that I have been using this for the past couple of days, just playing around with it. And my first impressions are overall very positive. So let's get into some of the basic stuff here. So as far as the screen goes, it is beautiful. It's the 16:10, 16-inch Quad HD display, and it is really nice. Perhaps the most standout feature for me is the brightness. It gets all the way up to 500 nits. It's not even the brightness, there we go. It gets all the way to 500 nits of brightness, which is even brighter than like a MacBook, I believe. So it is extremely bright, and I just love the 16:10. It's so productive. Another standout for me is the trackpad. The trackpad, it's not a MacBook trackpad, but you know, it's getting there. It's about a MacBook trackpad in size, maybe a little less, and it still has this physical clicking mechanism, but it is very easy to use. It's frosted glass, very accurate. Overall, it's a really pleasant experience. The keyboard is also very nice. It's this chiclet style keyboard, obviously, has nice RGB lighting. The RGB is a little dim, but it's very accurate and pretty pleasant to look at. The speakers are a bit of a mixed bag, but overall, I would say they're probably a B, somewhere around there. They're not terrible, they're not great. They're pretty clear, they just don't get that loud. Ports is very nice. Look at the ports over here. We have 2 USB-C ports. I believe only one of them is Thunderbolt 4, but it is Thunderbolt 4, which is super nice. We have 1 USB Type A over here, an Ethernet, a HDMI, power plug, and then headphone jack. And then over here, we have a mini SD card reader. I wish that was a full SD card reader, but you know, that's okay. And then over here we got USB Type A again. Overall, the look of the laptop is really nice. So there is a lot of plastic here, but overall it feels really solid. The top is metal, and I think this sheen looks really nice. It's a little gamery, but not overkill. I think overall it's really clean. The top does retain fingerprints really easily though, and so does this soft touch rubbery stuff that makes up the keyboard deck. The fingerprint sensor, unfortunately, is not really working for me. It only works about maybe 40% of the time. So most of the times I just type in my password, but you know, it's okay. Another great thing about this laptop is it has a webcam. So the webcam honestly looks like crap, but it's there, and I hope I never have to do another Zoom class again. So if I do have to, it gets the job done. But anyways, enough of the first impressions. Let's hop right into a game of Fortnite. Alrighty. Let's crank this thing up. And just to let you guys know, we have this currently on maximum settings. And this is a 144 hertz screen. And let me tell you, it looks so good. Right off the bat, the fan noise isn't too obnoxious yet, but we'll have to see how that develops. And this is on the performance mode. If you put it on the turbo mode, it definitely gets louder. As I said earlier, this is the base model of this laptop. So it has a 3050 Ti with a Core i7 processor. Now there is a model above this that costs about $400 more that comes with a Core i9 processor and an RTX 3060 graphics card. We'll have to see the performance of this machine in this game and see if maybe even in Fortnite the upper model is justified. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And you know what? Even in the weight room here, I am seeing some torn frames. Now we are playing at max settings and it's running at about 120 frames per second, it looks like, but still, it's a little worrisome. We'll have to keep an eye on that. So now that we're actually in the game, I am starting to see some of those torn frames again. Now it is running very smoothly. It's probably still running at 120 FPS, And it is running on this beautiful 144 hertz quad HD display, so I'm sure that jacks the performance a little bit, because I think under normal circumstances a 3050 Ti would be more than adequate with a 1080p display. But you pay a price when you use that quad HD display. But man, is that quad HD? It's 500 nits, so it's just blasting me with brightness, and it's so good. I mean, it's really hard to describe what kind of a difference this display makes, even versus something like a Zephyrus G14. I'm not saying this is better than a Zephyrus G14, I'm just saying this display is it's so much nicer. I'm also really enjoying this keyboard. It's not like super deep travel. I mean, it's moderate travel. It's not like a MacBook or anything, but it's moderate travel. But it's really pleasant to use when gaming or typing. It's just a really nice springy feel to the keys. So again, further along in the game, we're still seeing some of those torn frames. So I think we could definitely turn down a few of these settings and it would run pretty buttery smooth. But, this is starting to make a case for itself to buy that, model that costs $400 more and get that i9 processor and 3060 graphics card. I'm sure it would handle this just fine if we had those components inside here. The fan noise is staying pretty reasonable. It's getting a little close to being obnoxious. This is in performance mode, not turbo mode though. So keep in mind that if you do pump it up to turbo mode, the fans are just gonna be really bad. I've actually played Fortnite with turbo mode on, and I didn't really see an upgrade in performance that much, but I definitely did hear a definite increase in fan noise.